Hey friends, I'm on a beautiful, beautiful autumn walk. Just stunning. The leaves are changing, the river's beautiful, and it's early October, so it's still pretty warm, but there's that really cool breeze of fall coming in, and that's what I want to talk to you about today. So, welcome. My name is Brittany, and I'm a writer, I'm an Ayurvedic health counselor, yoga teacher, and just grounding guide for you today. This is going to be a short video. I just want to talk a little bit about the seasons changing and what that means in our body, what that means in our life. And so if we really see ourselves as nature, as we observe these beautiful changes happening outside of our window, it's also happening within us, within our psyche, within our body. And during the fall season, we enter into what's called Vata time. So this is an Ayurvedic dosha that describes an archetype, and it has to do with two elements, air and ether. So air and ether, you think about the element of air, it's very uplifting, it's cleansing, it's exciting, and yet it's also very destabilizing and ungrounding. And so even though we're starting to wind down and slow down into the colder months ahead, we can actually quite often feel a little bit ungrounded and a little bit kind of lost in the changes, lost in the wind. And so these next 3 tips are going to help you to ground down, to prepare for the colder seasons ahead, to prepare for the dark seasons ahead, and hopefully this will help you feel empowered and excited about the rest of the year. So, before I share these tips, I will say maybe just pick one for now. Try it out for a few days. There's actually one of the tips you will just do one time. So maybe you just want to pick 1 or 2 of these options to try at home, see how it goes so that you're not overwhelming yourself. Tip number 1, which I think is the most important, and that is to develop a daily grounding practice. So you may already be doing this naturally, but I want you to really think about this in a way of, okay, I'm actually carving out the time to do this practice. So for as little as 5 minutes a day, that's all it takes. Option 1 is to go outside in nature, that's preferred, but you can also do this inside just for a 5-minute break when you're working. So option 1 is to find a sit spot in nature. A sit spot is something that you will return to day after day after day. I love to do this. Maybe you have a couple spots in nature you love to go to. But by returning to the same spot day after day after day, it becomes a routine, and we can start to observe how we're changing. We could start to observe kind of our own life by having that stable, steady place to return to every day. And so you could return to the spot for 5 minutes a day at least, and just do whatever you want to do. Maybe it's meditating, maybe it's taking your shoes off and planting your bare feet into the earth. Maybe it's journaling, maybe it's just observing how beautiful nature is. And just doing that in itself with no agenda is going to be grounding for you. Now, if you're kind of short on time, maybe the weather's really bad, maybe you just can't get outside for whatever reason, here's a really simple grounding practice you can do at home. So, I want you to set your timer for about 5 to 7 minutes. Just start there. You can always increase the time over time. But it takes the body at least probably 3 minutes just to really settle down. So we want to do more than 3 minutes. You're going to set your timer for 5 minutes. Make sure you're undistracted. Sit in a comfortable chair. Maybe you're even in your office chair. That's fine. Maybe you're on your couch in your bed. And either locate your sit bones or your feet. So we're going to be moving the energy, the electromagnetic field that we all carry down the body. So how we're going to do this, I'll do it with you right now. So as you're watching this, just take a breath, pause, maybe close your eyes. You're going to breathe in for the count of 3. Exhale for the count of 6. Inhale for the count of 3. Exhale for the count of 6. And then you just continue that for the whole 5 minutes. As you breathe out, you can imagine that electromagnetic charge in your body, maybe as a color, maybe as a liquid, moving from the head. This is where we overthink. And then as you exhale, bring that down the entire body into the soles of your feet. And then just keep doing that on each exhale. So over and over, we're bringing it down, down, down. And then you can even bring that down through the soles of the feet into the earth. So this is number 1. Number 2, this practice is just kind of a one-time thing. You can do it a couple times if you want to. A lot of folks, myself included, always do a New Year's resolution or maybe some New Year's goals. And we can do this for the seasons as well. So what you're going to do is take a pen and paper. You can also use Google Docs or whatever you want to do. And I want you to separate your life, even though it's so multifaceted and beautiful, into 3 categories. So we're going to have career, work, or school. So whatever you do day to day, however you make your money or studying or whatever it is you do every day. So your day to day, that's one section. The second section is the loved ones in your life. So this could be your parents or your children, your partner, your very best friends, just the people that are closest to you in your life. And so that's the second section. The third section, which is really important that we don't often think about, is the thing that lights you up in life. So it could be an artistic hobby. It could be traveling. It could be going to see shows. It could be a side business that you really want to create. Something that really you would love to do without getting paid. You just love it so much. So we have those 3 sections. We have career, work, family, and friends, and the things that are closest to us. And then we have that one thing that lights us up. And I just want you to spend, just a few minutes on each section and just journal or maybe even list out the people and the things that are going on in those realms. What's working, what's not working. So for example, if you're a mom of a bunch of kids and you've got a pretty hectic schedule, and let's say you love fantasy novels and you just don't have time to read them anymore. What can you do? What little changes can you make? Who can you ask for help so that you get 20 minutes of reading time every night? Something like that. So we're just you could journal, you could free flow, and just come to this sort of realization in each of these areas of your life. Does this area of my life feel vibrant? What do I need to shift? What do I need to let go of? All right. So that's obviously a practice you can come to back time and time again. But it's really nice to do this during the seasonal shifts because so much is usually changing in our life, and it's a good time to prioritize and reprioritize things. Last tip is to develop a very strong and healthy either morning routine or bedtime routine. So if you have a lot of trouble sleeping and you feel kind of like you can't wind down at night, I would definitely recommend you to do the bedtime routine. If you wake up feeling stressed and you want more peace and you want a little bit more of a rhythm going for your day, I would highly recommend a morning routine. Okay, so for example, bedtime routine. When the sun starts to go down outside, start to turn down your own lights in your own home. So no more overhead lights. And then I also want you to look at the blue light. Why is blue light so important? Because blue light emits a light that actually is more appropriately assigned to about noon in July. That's the kind of light we're dealing with. And so if you have that kind of light blasting in your face at 10 p.m., it's going to be a lot harder to fall asleep. You're going to feel wired, you're going to feel like you need to get going. So, a couple options is to, if you're going to be on screens, use some sort of filter or device that blocks the blue light. I use Flux. It's a free app for my computer, and it kind of aligns the light with the sunrise and the sunset. You can use blue light glasses. You can turn the red filter on your phone. There's a lot of really simple options, you guys. It doesn't even have to cost any money. This is really important because we want to signal to our body that it's time to wind down. There's a million other tips I could say about bedtime, but that's for another time. So that's just one idea for bedtime, is to turn the lights down, start to create a calm, cozy, quiet space, use lamps and candlelight. For a morning routine, one tip that's really important, and it's actually going to help your sleep overall, is instead of reaching for your phone and kind of just getting right up and going about your day, take the time to slowly wake up. Go outside first thing and put your bare feet on the earth. Breathe in the scents, listen to the birds, listen to the squirrels. If it's raining outside, maybe just crack open the window and sit by the window. And just start to align yourself with what's the weather today, what's the season. And then usually when I do this and I go outside, I think about all the things I'm grateful for. You just spend a few minutes doing that and you'll see a huge shift in your day. I promise you that. So these are just 3 tips. There's so much more. Let me know what resonated. Let me know what you want to try. And also let me know if you're already doing one of these things and see how it works for you. So there will be more soon. Thank you for watching and have a beautiful fall.